Well, good morning, ladies. It's been a minute
Good morning.
or a week, I don't know. But today on our episode, we are going to talk about Jen's most recent experience in her breast cancer journey, because it is breast cancer month, her nipple reconstruction.
Woohoo!
But also don't forget we are doing all kinds of breast cancer awareness and exciting things in our wellness group this month. So feel free to shoot us a message, drop us a comment, give us a like and a subscribe too while you're at it, and let us know that you want in on the wellness group this month. So Jen,
It's
I'll
been
let
a
you
lot of
take it
fun
away.
this month.
Really has. I mean, we've got a great group of ladies in there. They are all like excited about the journey that they're on and the participation. Words are hard on a Saturday morning. Participation has just been
Off the
really
chain.
good. Yeah, I think we need to do a giveaway pretty soon.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to, because I haven't used it yet, I'm going to put this in as the giveaway. I have not used my journal, the Jampod journal. So I'm going to put that in the giveaway. It's not going to be wrapped up or anything, but I'll send it to whomever is the winner. We'll just look at who participates the most this month, and we'll
Mm-hmm.
put all the winners and all the participants into a hat and draw.
Yep.
And well, your proverbial hat, we do that on the computer now. Uh, But yeah, I think that would be a really good, way to say thank you for participating this month.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. So
So
let's
let's
talk
let's talk
nipples.
nipples. So in case you're new around here, so I was diagnosed with breast cancer in January of 2021. I had a very aggressive type of breast cancer. It was called HER2 positive, and that just means that the cells that make up the cancer, the tumor itself, are more rapid. And so I went through the whole kit and caboodle. I had the chemo done, I had the double mastectomy done, I had the radiation done, I had a year's worth of Herceptin and Perjeta. And then I've had reconstructive surgery using with the deep method. So I didn't have it. Oh, and I had expanders with one failed. So I was
Mhm.
lopsided for quite a time.
I remember
Um,
that.
and then with my reconstructive surgery, I had deep. And so no what are those called? Implants.
Yeah.
Mm.
So they can take what's I mean, science is just really cool
Mhm.
because who would have thunk that like my stomach that, I had this hangover and it didn't matter really, had 3 C-sections and gaining weight, losing weight. I could never like tighten that up. And
Mhm.
so they were able to like use my belly and give me boobs.
Yeah. It's
Um
amazing.
Now I
Mm-hmm.
will say if you know somebody, or please do not comment that, well, at least you got a tummy tuck, because I hate it when people say that because I didn't
Mhm.
ask for this.
Right.
I would have much rather had my, what's it called, a belly apron,
Yeah,
rather than going through this
Mm.
whole process.
your fupa.
So yeah. So just be mindful of
Well,
whenever
because you're still dealing with this and it's over 2.5 years later,
Yeah.
almost three
yeah.
years.
Well, and that's the thing too, is that, with breast cancer awareness month, I think there's a variety of folks, right? So there's the people that really use this month to bring awareness. And I've done that in the past. Um, and I've always like, hey, it's the first of the month, make sure that you're checking the girls and stuff like that. And I still do that from time to time. But this year it was a little bit different. I felt different about it. And it was just kind of like I kind of don't even want to think about
Mm.
October,
Mhm.
because it's just like, yes, I want to bring awareness, but whenever you've gone through that, it's like, can we just not think about it?
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? Because
Yep.
Mhm.
even though, so the nipple reconstruction was the final, if you will. Well, I have to get my areolas tattooed.
Mm.
So we'll talk about that. But, you know, for all of the hard stuff, like we're into the fun stuff now, right? So, but all of the hard stuff is over. But it's just, you know, it's just something that I don't want to think about. I don't post about it that much anymore, just because I don't want that. I don't know. I feel like I want to bury my head in the sand and just forget that part of my life.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
That's totally
you
understandable.
know. But it was really, really cool. So if you know of anybody, if you're going through this process and you're having reconstruction surgery, like I said, I did have a double mastectomy. I had the expanders, one failed, so it had to come out, which that was an ordeal all in itself. I actually had it removed while I was wide awake, in the office because it was like an emergency thing. And so, but whenever I had my reconstructive surgery, I felt like I had like kneecaps on my chest because there wasn't like, you know, any nipples. It was just smooth and it was just, they looked like
Skin.
two kneecaps hanging there, you know?
Yeah.
And so, which led to, you know, intimacy being an issue because, you know, while I had quote unquote boobs, they didn't look normal, right? And so I was very self-conscious. And so when we did the nipple reconstruction, I had no idea how they were going to do that. For whatever reason, I thought that they were going to like, I don't know, make something and attach it to me.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
But they had like, so it was in the office. So, you know, your plastic surgeon will have like an office operating room, like a mini scale one. And you're awake. I was totally awake for it. I'm numb from like my stomach to my neck anyway, so I can't even feel anything. But he had a stencil and it was like, you know how like if the sunrise is coming up on the horizon, so it's like flat with like, you know, a little dome, it looked like that. And so there were 3 of them. There was one with like a small dome, there was one with a middle dome, there was one with a large dome. And so he asked me like which one what I wanted, and I'm like, I don't know, like,
she's like, go big or go home.
well, before, I mean, this might be TMI before, but I mean, I had some big nipples. And
Did
so
you breastfeed the
I
kids?
tried,
Yeah.
but no. They were just, you know, larger. And so I was just like, you know, I want something there, like, because he said they'll be swollen, you know, but then they'll go down. And I said, well, whenever they go down, I don't want you need like a magnifying glass to find them, like, you know, because they gave me nice size boobs. And so I wanted something that looked normal.
Complimentary.
Yeah. So I was just like, hey, you're the expert, just do whatever. So they stencil that on. And I mean, he had his measuring tape out. He was like making sure that they were like, you know, the same
Even?
distance
Symmetrical.
from my neck, from my armpit. Like he was very particular about
Oh yeah,
it,
you
which
didn't
I'm
want to be
so
like,
thankful. Yeah, which I'm so thankful for. And so long story, kind of short, they stencil it and then they cut around it, and then he did some like origami shit. So it was like my own skin that he cut using that stencil, and then like on like the flat piece, and then he like twirled it up like some little origami, like, you know, made a ball out of it, and then he had like a soldering gun almost
Oh
looked like,
my.
and he was like, you know, soldering the tissue back together. I was totally awake for it. We had like conversations. It took, I think, about an hour for each side. But I'm like, I was so pleased. Like you know, it was just it was actually a fun experience. And afterwards, you know, of course they were bandaged for a while, and you have to, they're basically making a scar, like a
that's what I mean. I
homemade
was gonna say it's
scar.
like it looks like it sounds like almost they're making like scar tissue.
Yeah. And so after you're done, like, you can't wear tight shirts, you can't wear like sports bras, you can't like do anything, or you can't do like vigorous activity, because if they do shift,
Rubbing and
then
bites.
they can, the scar tissue can harden in ways that, and so that you can be lopsided, right?
Mm.
Or if you're wearing tight compression shirts, it can make them go flat, and then you won't have nipples.
Oh, wow.
So I had to, which, after you have your reconstructive surgery, anyways, a lot of times I don't wear a bra now, just because they're perky again and I don't really need one. So it's
Yeah.
really nice.
I wouldn't either. I hate wearing a bra. No.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
And
That's the
so,
first thing that comes off when I get home.
Shoot,
yeah,
yeah. That's the first thing that never goes on. Okay. If I can get away with not wearing a bra, damn it, I am not going to wear a bra.
yeah.
So I don't
Like I
blame
have one, I wear one, like I'm to the point where I can wear one again, but I don't wear anything too heavy.
you.
Hmm.
Um, for like when I work out and stuff, but as soon as I'm done working out, it comes off.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, it was just such a neat experience. And then, they look great. And, it's helped with intimacy. It's helped with just my confidence and feeling girly again.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now I can't feel anything with them, right? Because like I said, I was numb,
Right.
but just like even on the intimacy level, I think it even helps like your partner, because like I said, but whenever we were intimate, like it was like, well, do I really have to take my shirt off? Like, what's the point?
Right.
You know what I mean? And so because you're self-conscious about it, your
Mm-hmm.
partner is also not getting what they need
Right.
for that whole process. So I think even though while I can't feel anything, it does make me feel sexier, which helps our intimacy. And then I'm not afraid to take off my shirt or whatever.
Hmm.
And so this last phase, you have to wait like 3 months after you have the
Make
origamis
sure.
made. um you have to wait 3 months, and then they gave me like a list, which I have to do. I have to make the tattoo appointment, and then um they partner, like, so my plastic surgeon partners with several tattoo artists
Mm.
in the
Oh.
area. And so they were like, hey, a lot of folks have gone to this place, we've seen their work, because after that's done, I actually go back and they take like my after pictures.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have to get like all of the shading and stuff done. But I
Can't
mean,
wait to see that.
even without that, I'm just like super, super pleased. But
Mm-hmm.
So are
that'll
they
be,
the same color right now?
yeah, it's just like it's flesh, because it was
Hmm.
made from
Your
like
skin.
my
Yeah.
skin. So they're
I
just,
didn't know if it with the scarred over, is it somewhat discolored? You
mm-mm,
know what I mean?
no,
Hmm.
no. The only thing that I have really bad scarring was is where, because you can tell, so when you have the deep, like I said, they use your own skin and
Hmm.
fat and whatever tissue to
Mm-hmm.
make them, so you can see the scars from like my natural skin
Mm-hmm.
to where it meets my stomach
The
skin.
new skin. Got
Yeah,
it.
it kind of looked like a football. And so it was very prominent before. And so
Hmm.
you can see that there's like a lot of scar tissue and I have a lot of scarring.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but
I
like
mean
it's
that'll
fine.
that'll I mean over time will kind of fade too.
Yeah, and he told me like I got like lymphatic massage oil and some like not utensils, but what the hell you call them? Massaging tools.
Utensils. That's a good word.
Utensils, like what else do you call them? But I got some of that stuff so that I've always tried to like when I get out of the shower, it's kind of like I have those like at nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
Usually I'll do like a light lymphatic massage, from especially from like my neck to my stomach area,
Hmm.
trying to like just get all of that out. And then the scarring in my boobs, I kind of press it to my armpits and stuff, because I even have like a lot of scar tissue,
Mm.
and a lot of pain like in my left. Even though I had a double mastectomy, my right arm is fine. It's the left arm, and so my range of motion is horrible, and I'm
Mm.
in constant pain from all of the scar tissue on that side. I don't know if that's because they removed a lymph node on that side
Mhm.
Mhm.
or what it is, but it
Mm.
it hurts. So I do like daily lymphatic massages to try and break that shit up.
Mm. Great
But
day.
the whole nipple reconstruction is just it's just crazy.
What an
Like
Yeah.
experience.
it's just the whole science behind it, how smart these people are. It's just what they can do, what they find out. It's just I find it so remarkable and it's just so interesting.
Well,
Mhm.
and now it's what they can do with, like before it was, or again, you thought they were going to attach something or make
Yeah.
something or some prosthesis of sorts,
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
and
That's
now
what I was thinking.
it's your own body.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's better because, you're less likely to reject it and that sort of thing, but, like, just the fact that they've, you know the science has come so far that they were, decided to be like, "Hey, let's just cut this part off your body and reattach it somewhere else
Yeah.
and see if it
Yeah,
works."
Yeah. I mean, and
exactly.
it's just like for especially for the her too,
Mhm,
um, that like medicine, like the Herceptin medicine didn't come out. I want to say it was like 1996 or 1998.
mhm,
Mhm.
So it's new.
Mhm.
yeah.
Um, compared to like everything else, right? Like
Yeah.
I know that's back in the day to some people.
Now,
But
can I ask a question about so did you just had it in you found your lump in one, or was it in
just
both?
one.
And
Mm.
then you opted to do the full,
I didn't she
or that was the
that
recommendation?
was the recommendation.
Mm.
Yeah. So my because I think because it was the more aggressive
Mhm,
form,
Mhm.
and I couldn't have a lumpectomy because my tumor was like 9.6, 9.8 centimeters.
oh my goodness.
So if I had a
Damn.
lumpectomy, it would have looked like a sharp bit into me,
Yeah.
you know.
Now, do
So
you was that genetic, or is that just
no, well, I mean, that's the weird thing. So they have you do like your round of genetic testing.
mhm,
And
Mhm.
so it does run in my family. Like my aunt had it. She had a lumpectomy. But thankfully all of my genetic testing came back negative because I was I was terrified that it was going to come back positive. And if it would
mhm,
have came back positive, it could have impacted like the boys,
mhm,
and so I was just like, please just don't let it be genetic because I just don't want them or their kids or anybody to have to like deal
Right.
with this
do
nonsense. Which I mean,
Mhm.
they could. I mean,
mhm,
but I was happy that I didn't want to have that conversation with them,
yeah.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Understandable.
Yeah. But I'm so thankful for the medicine. I'm thankful for all the doctors. I had a really, really great team. I still go back every 6 months because of reoccurrence. And so while I don't have to have like mammograms done, if it were to come back, I guess it comes back in the edges of your chest cavity because of
Mm,
Mhm.
course when they do the double mastectomy they have to leave some of the tissue there,
Right.
right? Because they have to
Mhm.
close you up. And
right.
so, that's why the doctor was like, you had a positive response to chemotherapy and to your double mastectomy, but I can't say that you're quote
In the
unquote
clear.
cancer free
Mhm.
because there's always that chance of a
So
trace
what do
left
you have
in
to
there and
do,
it
like
comes
a
back.
PET scan, or do you just do a PET scan?
No, they just it's just a physical exam.
Oh,
I guess they know what they're feeling for along the chest cavity and
mhm,
he just feels around in there and that's
Well,
it.
mhm.
November is like prostate awareness month,
Mm.
prostate cancer awareness month. And although Matt didn't have prostate cancer, he does have a form of a lymph node cancer. So I asked him the other day, I don't know what came about. And I said, "Do you check yourself?" And he said all the time in the shower, every single day. He said
Mhm.
because, his lump was on his neck.
Mm.
And so, he's like, I check everywhere into my arms, my groin, and everything like that. And then when he went and had his treatment on Monday, the PA checked different areas. So,
Mhm.
when he has to, get his treatments, he's got to get physically examined as well. So,
Yep.
like you said, he's not cancer free. They're just trying to keep it asleep.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the hardest thing too. I think a lot of times, at least in my head, I was like, okay, this is only going to impact me while I'm going through treatments. Once I'm done with
Right.
treatments, I'm going to bounce back and be my happy-go-lucky self. And
No, no, it's
it's not
true.
like that at all. Like it constantly lives with you. And so
Hmm.
while, because some people will say, I've been told, oh, well, you don't even look like you had cancer. Well, what does that look like?
Yeah.
Yeah. What does it look
You
like?
know what I mean? Like, let me show you some pictures.
Well, that's what I mean. Are you supposed to be bald for the rest of
Yeah.
your life? Are you supposed to
Right.
be sickly looking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah, and it's just like even though I'm on the I say on the outside of that journey, I'm still on this life after cancer journey,
Yeah.
right? I'm
Mhm.
still trying to figure things out. My body is completely different. It
Mhm.
Hmm.
responds to things so differently. I
Mhm.
used to feel young and vibrant and have so much energy, and now I'm in like chronic pain
Hmm.
um
Hmm.
all the time.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question? Did the chemo mess up any of your digestive um, things? Like do you go to the bathroom normal, or is it like diarrhea all the time?
Well, I mean,
I'm just
when I was under treatments, right? So I always had diarrhea,
Mm.
yeah.
always.
Yeah.
But then, like now, I'm in that constant state of constipation. Like I
Ugh.
can't ever use the bathroom, and so I have to take Miralax every single day.
Yeah. Matt's
And
going through
so,
something right now with his constipate. He's since his treatment Monday, he's been
yeah,
constipated like for a week.
yeah.
Mm.
So I mean, I would recommend him having like Miralax on hand, and just whenever if it's not like a constant thing, then just take it, whenever he needs to. I mix it with my emergency, and so I can't even taste it.
Yeah, I have him
Or
some
Um,
even
Metamucil.
what as I say, even like a daily thing that he can just drink, just to
Yeah.
keep him.
yeah. I mean, I drink it literally
Oh wow. Okay.
Mm.
every day.
Well, I might have to tell him that. Thanks for the tip.
Mm-hmm. And it's just because otherwise I can't go, or it's painful to go.
Mm.
Mm.
And even whenever like I eat, like I don't get like hungry anymore.
Mhm.
So like I don't know if that's from like the treatments. I don't know if that's from the surgeries. I don't know what that's from, but I don't get hungry. And so like starving, I should say. So whenever I eat, and if I eat like too big of a meal in one sitting, then my stomach, because like I don't have all of that extra skin, maybe, I don't know, but it just feels tight
Mhm.
Mhm.
and so uncomfortable.
I bet. I bet. Mm.
So, but yeah, I mean, like, and I'm sure, I guess my whole point in saying that was like, that's probably why he checks himself every single day, because you're
Mhm.
constantly paranoid. Like I have
Yeah.
like these like I mentioned, I have scar tissue. Um, and that's why I do the massages, but there's like
Mhm.
little lumps
Mm.
in my head. I
And
know that
yeah.
it's the scar tissue, but
Okay.
I'm like constantly afraid that it's not. And so
Oh,
Right.
I
every
would be
single
too.
time I go to the doctors, like every 6 months, I'm like, the lumps are still there. The lumps are still there. And just so that they can confirm to me
Yeah.
that it's the scar tissue, because that's how I found it, was the, sunless tanner putting on, and I felt it. And it's just, it's
Mm.
terrifying.
Oh, I can't imagine. I can't.
Right, because then
But
you're like, is that lump bigger than it was yesterday, or is it,
Yes.
you
mhm.
know,
Mhm.
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
I feel
Phew.
you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you
Totally.
sharing your story
Yeah.
so much, because there's just so much that people don't realize that goes into having cancer, and especially the after,
Mhm.
and still what
Yeah.
you're dealing with, all of the chronic pain and, the autoimmune now thing going on and stuff like that. I appreciate you and just sharing because it's a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, well, thanks for being along
Yep.
for the ride.
Yeah, I've been here ever since from day
Well,
one.
well, ladies, this has been an enlightening episode. And I
Mhm.
know probably many of you still have questions. And Jen, if you're up to it,
Yeah,
we can
post
definitely
them.
pose
Yep.
some questions. She'll get your answer.
Yep.
I mean, at least in a somewhat way. If not, she'll tell you to go screw beat. But
Yeah.
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 if you have questions, drop them in the comments, share them on Instagram, give us a like, a follow, subscribe, and
Mm.
share this episode with your friends too, especially
Yeah.
if they're also going through this similar type of thing.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, because like I said, I had like if you know somebody that's going through this and they're gonna need like, if they can't do nipple sparring and they need some kind of reconstructive surgery, share it with them. Because I knew nothing and I was afraid to Google it because
Mhm.
sometimes Google shares too much
Yes.
and you get scared or whatever. And I didn't
Mhm.
want to see like pictures or what have you. So sometimes it's easier to learn from somebody who's been through it
hmm
than to go to the great Google.
Yeah.
for sure.
Totally.
Absolutely.
And don't be
So
asking
Yep.
her for nipple pics. We're not going to share those
yeah,
on the internet.
no.
That's just
No.
between us.
Not until they're done. She'll start her OnlyFans once they're tattooed.
Once
Yeah.
once they're done, yeah.
All right, ladies.
All right, love
Thank you
you.
so much. Love you.
Bye.